Like you got a snake going, huh? Look at you.
Wait, I'm on your side?
Yeah. See?
Here, Ducky.
Try to give something to the StreamYard duck. You gonna give him the phone?
No,
All right, all right.
this is another Ducky.
Let's talk to the people. We gotta pass out the broadcast. ETE Imhotep Sini Sanet Aqua Sejeda Kuja Sanab Dua Henu for listening. Let me we gotta stop Cam because I ain't even dressed.
What?
He looking a mess. Yeah.
Who is that?
Who
Who is that?
is that guy right there? Could that be me?
No.
Could that be me?
No.
We about to get started here. It's been a while. It's been a minute. It's been a long time, man. I've been busy, man. I ain't had the chance to do a stream. And what's good with y'all out there? I see. Let's build it back up. Let's get it going. I didn't even share this. I gotta remember how to share this thing, right? Let me see real quick. I don't even remember where the stream share is. That's how long it's been since I've done a broadcast. I've been running around like a madman. I've been busy, y'all. Save the changes on this. Let me see real quick. Before we get started. Banner brand private chat. I don't know where the link button is at. I guess I should go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube and see if it's on YouTube. Oh, Jack. There I go. If it's on YouTube. We just gonna share this particular link while you hear me in here. Let's mute my chat. All right, there we go. Now let's go back over here to StreamYard. I share it in a few places. Just a couple. We ain't going all in the hangouts and all that. Today, we're not doing all that today. I might do that later with it, but right now we just gonna keep it simple. If you catch it, you catch it. If you didn't catch it, you don't got it. You just didn't catch it. You know what it is. You know what it is. Give me just a few moments. What you got?
I got a spinner.
That is awesome. What you got? You got the mirror. You can see yourself like a boss. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, I got the grandies up in the building with me, you know. Let's go. We're gonna share it a couple other places. Don't know how we do. We're just gonna share it a couple places. Let's go. Let's go to Talk with the Titans. We'll share Talk with the Titans. I ain't shared nothing on there in a long time, right? Here we go. We just breaking them down. Where else y'all wanna? Let's go to I ain't been in the Solar Vision Debate League in a minute neither. Let's go to SVDL real quick. Let's see. Let's share it over there. Let's see if that's even up anymore. There you go. Solar's joint. He got his debate league still, you know. Let's go on to drop a little something in here. We'll do that. Where else should we go? Let's go to so many places I could drop this, but I don't really want to do all that, right? I don't really want to drop it all over. Let's go to Comedic Practitioners Conference Room. We'll do that real quick. Just real quick. Then we're gonna get started. We're gonna get busy. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Here we go. What's up? What's up, Chilo? My brother Chilo. Chilo. Chilo on point with that jujitsu. That's my guy right there. All right, we in the building. We on the map. Here we go. How we want to start this? Let's share something nice, right? Let's share a lesson first, huh? Let's hit the share button. I've been running around. I've been busy, man. I ain't had the chance to really talk to you. I've been talking on Smash's show, but I ain't really had a chance to talk to y'all. Let's go with an old ancient lesson, the immortality of the writer. My man Smash said he hate when people do this because they usually can't read Metal Nature. They be like, ew, sweat ek nini iwek shasa ti in seshu naa in seshu rikiet jerek keperet hor sa necheru na in siri ietis keperin sin min nehehe set shemet sekum sin aha sin semeku ha'u sin neb. What did I just say? He hates when that happens with people who can't read. It's okay if you can read. It's different if you can't. So it says this: if you would only accomplish this, becoming expert in writing, those writers of knowledge from the time of events after the Necheru, the gods, those who foretold the future, their names have become fixed for eternity. Though they are gone, they have completed their lifespan, and all their kin are forgotten. Sounds different coming from ancient Kemet, doesn't it? Let's go further. It says, they did not make for themselves a chapel of copper or stella for it from iron from the sky. They did not manage to leave heirs from their children to pronounce their names, but they have achieved heirs out of writings, out of the teachings in those. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab the door. Come on, baby. Come on. And I'm back. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. It says, they are given the book as ritual priests, the writing board as loving son. Teachings are their chapels, the writing rush their child, and the block of stone the wife. From great to small, all are given as his children for the writer. He is their leader. Let's go further. We're going to reflect on these in a second. It says the doors of their chapels are undone. Their ka priests, their spirit priests have gone. Their tombstones are smeared with mud. Their tombs are forgotten, but their names are read out on their scrolls, written when they were young. Being remembered makes them to the limits of eternity. Let's drop it down a little further. Be a writer. Put it in your heart, and your name is created by the same scrolls, are more useful than tombstones, than building a solid enclosure. They act as chapels and chambers by the desire of the one pronouncing their name. For sure, not possibly, for sure, not maybe, for sure, there is most use in the cemetery for a name in the mouths of men. A man is dead. His corpse is in the ground. When all his family are laid in the earth, it is writing that lets him be remembered. In the mouth of the reciter of the formula scrolls are more useful than a built house, than chapels on the west. They are more perfect than palace towers, longer lasting than a monument in a temple. And finally, is there anyone here like Hordedef? Is there another like Imhotep? Is there no family born for us like Neferti and Keti, their leader? Let me remind you of the name Ptah M. Jehuti, Ka Ke Per Ran Seneb. Is there another like Ptahhotep, Kares? Two, those who knew how to foretell the future, what came from their mouths took place and may be found in their phrasing. They are given the offspring of others as heirs, as if their own children. They hid their powers from the whole land to be read in their teachings. They are gone. Their names might be forgotten, but writing lets them be remembered. This is why it's important to write. Because we talk about most of the time in this community, conscious community, the Shemsu community, the Seshu community, the Magi community, the Ados community, etc., etc. We talk about most of the time? Ancient writings. Ancient right. You either got Jesus in your mouth, you got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your mouth, you got Asar, Set, Haru in your mouth, and you got the people who wrote them. The first thing we talk about, oh, well, who wrote it? Where's the primary? And then one of us is on here trying to do what? Say their name. One of these guys come on here, they be like, Neb Archer, Neb Archer, Neb Ercher, or, they try to, Hordadef, Hordadef, Neferti, Keti. You've heard Imhotep all the time. You got people running around telling you the Medu Neter ain't been deciphered, and they got Medu Neter names. How do they get those names? Because they look up the writers who wrote those stories and ethics for them. Why are you emulating them if you're not related to them? How come? Because the ethics and codes that they use still translate till today. They do. Your nations are built off of them. Your worlds are built around them. Your ethic codes of right and wrong are built behind them. They're built behind them. Look at that last phrase again. Let's look at that last paragraph again. We'll get to some other parts again. It says, those who knew how to foretell the future. That means if you got an idea in your mind right now about what could be, write it down. That's how you become a prophet. Really. Nicodemus, or whatever his name is, the one dude who they always rave about telling the future, used to write it down and then it would happen. Or when y'all run the revelation, wondering how it happened. Or when we pull out that old Jehudi text, which tells you Egypt is all this and it used to be that, and now it's going to be like this, and it's pretty much telling what's happening right now. Huh? These are the importances of it, and we're going to get into some of that later on today. But remember, it's like you give a writer your offspring. It's like if you write something of importance, the children will flock to the book at some point in time in their life if it's worth remembering. And with them flocking to that book, you are their teacher. You become their teacher. You probably taught their parents, which is how they probably got that book. And so whatever's in that book, whether it's a nursery rhyme or right now, your biggest teachers are Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Because what they wrote in books has not only transcended the different countries of the world, you can watch what they wrote in books on the big screen now. You go into the movies. See what they wrote about. You are Stanley and Jack Kirby's child. Some of you shun comic books, but you know that Avengers movie. You know that Black Panther movie. You know that Black Panther movie. Simon and Schuster. You children of them too. Why? Because you know that Superman story. Lois Lane. You understand? You understand? So when we go to write, it's important that in this community, we do it with integrity, we do it with fervor, and it's our own. And it's our own. And then your name will reign with Hordedefs, Imhoteps, Nefertis, Ketis, Ptah Jehutis, etc., etc. Ka Kepera, Seneb, Ptahhoteps, Ka Iris. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Then the community become your children because they hold on to your words. If they're sincere and they're on point. Right here, a reminder, a dead man is a corpse in the ground. When all his family are laid in the earth, it is his writing that lets him be remembered. In the mouth of the reciter of the formula, scrolls are more useful than a built house for the chapels on the west. More important than your tomb. You understand? Be a writer. Put it in your heart. It's a little noisy. It'll go away in a minute. We got them babies. Hey! Be a writer and put it in your heart, and your name is created by the same scrolls are more useful than tombstones, than buildings and solid enclosures. This is important for us who write in the community. It's not a guarantee everybody's going to write, but it's very important for those in the community. And I'll stop sharing for a second. We'll get back to it in a minute. When you get to the level where your information is so powerful in your mind that you think you need to put it on paper or scroll, do it. Spell check it in your email builders, right? What's an email builder? It's your Hotmail. Put it in your Hotmail and make sure your spelling corrections are done. Make sure you said the right thing. Make sure it's proofread. Make sure it's peer reviewed. We're going to talk about peer review in a second too, right? Because right now, we're building on the Mernet Ptah Stela, and we're about to write some historic things that are about to take place. I know Smash is going to write. I'm going to write a piece for this as well. And we want it to be used. We'll send it to this. We'll try to write a scientific paper and send it out to the community at large, the world. And when we look at what that's going to entail, let me share real quick. This is the subject we're talking about. The Mernet Ptah Stela. When it comes to this stela, as you can see, it's huge. I'm going to zero in on some stuff here in a second. When it comes to this stela, you see this line right here where the hand is at? If you come, see this 25 here? Come 1, 2 down, and then let's go all the way to the right. Let's stop right here. I'm going to blow this up a little more for us, right? Just so you can see it. There it is, right here. Tim, Sunni, Syria, Syria, the symbol here, the Syrians, Faketu, Ben Peret, the F for his, season is up. Where are they from? Koru, Caperulator, right? They're from Koru, stick location. When we get to this, it's going to be changing because everyone thinks this says Yisriari, which doesn't really make sense here. Yisrael, they think this changes to an L in a sentence that doesn't make this change to an L. See this same glyph, this R, it's called it's basically Ray, and this is the mouth. This is the stroke underneath. It should have the same rule in the same line of a stela. Why would it change? Right? In Medu Neter, this would be the rule. We start later in Medu Neter when the Ptolemy period takes place, pronouncing this R here as an L sometimes in certain instances. This would be before that rule came into being, this stela, the Marinette Patah stela. And also, it would need to be used here. It would also need to be used in about 7 other places, maybe 9 other places here under Kemet. This right here says Kemet. L? Kemetel? No. So we know, and this is the Newit symbol, it's dark, and then that's for a township, a city. It would need to be used in those locations. It would need to be used in several places on this stela. As I just kind of hop around it real quick. Let's see if we can find another one. Here goes another one. No, that's just the breaking of the sentence. This one here. It would need to be an L right here. It's not. It's not. It's just not. There's a few other places here, right? And so we'll go to critiquing why this is important. Yesterday we're on my brother Smash's show, and it's me, him, and Unc on the show at the time. And this is important that you're okay with scrutiny, right? Your skin is tough. I love it. Or my cousin Chaka. I used to write the rhymes that I thought were the flyers. And everybody who heard them thought they was the flyers, right? Had a career behind it. But I would keep him around on purpose because I would write, he'd be like, you trash. That's garbage. Then he say a weak rhyme trying to destroy it, right? And you need that. If you don't have that around you and you just have a bunch of yes men, you never know if you're right or wrong until you come outside and what you thought was hot in your basement comes out to the ears of the people, and then they make a call on it. But if you got somebody already listening to you who doesn't care about your feelings, who doesn't care about he wants you to be good, but he don't care about you, what you think about. He gonna tell you his opinion. He like, you trash, you garbage. You need that around you. And so yesterday, I was looking at a couple things. This right here, where the hand is, it says Koru or Harur, right? Koru. I was thinking this might be Haru, Koru behind it, which would solidify without question, this is talking about Syria. We already pretty much think it is. But if this said Koru on top of that, which is another name for Syria, it's over. So I ask and throw it out there just to make sure we don't miss any steps. I'm throwing out all possibilities. So the first thing Ankh does is he laughs, which is good. That's what you want. Then I go over here because I know the other name for Syria is Ma'at Ur. And so I go over here just to make sure. Now, I already read this before. We've already read this. These are land symbols. These are small spits of land. This is Nawit for city states, as we looked up above. You've seen the one up by Kemet dark and then. This is a ho. It makes the M sound. This is an A. It makes the A sound. So I just threw it out. I said, it could say Ma'at over here. I want to make sure we're clear. He started laughing again. Then he said, separate everything I say from a saw. I said, you don't know what you're talking about. He said, what? I said, you don't even know this symbol make an M sound. Then he got quiet. But I just was happy that he would critique it in that fashion anyway. Because when it hits the streets, that's what the people going to do. If you scared to get critiqued, get out the game. Get out the game. Because if you got a bunch of yes men around you, you'll never make it. You'll never make it. They'll always tell you it's hot and you're lukewarm. They'll tell you it's hot and you're ice cold. They'll tell you you did a good job and pat you on your back after you lose 25-4. No. That's why I like him around me during the discussion. Because he's going to keep you on your toes. That's why I keep my cousin Chaka around me and my other partners. None of us are yes men. We'll tell you you trash. And tell you from the heart, you know? And if you don't have people around you like that, you'll never be great. You'll always need to be coddled and hugged. No, it's okay. We ain't come up like that. And it's not that being coddled and hugged is a bad thing. It's that when you're putting your best work out, if you're not scrutinized properly and accordingly, it'll never be your best work. It'll be lukewarm and everything else around you will be hot. You can't touch it. You'll live your life like an MC Hammer record. You can't touch this. Why? Because you ain't never had no real critique. You stood up to it and understood why and been okay with it. So over here, I'm just checking. And I did it in public because I'm telling Smash, I'm like, send me your email so we could do it there. But then I was like, you know what? It don't matter. Let's do it on the air. Why? Skin is thick. It's no big deal. We're going to go in anyway. It don't matter. But then you can see what we're dealing with. You see that same figure here making the M sound here. You see it, same figure here making an M sound here. So you see, what I'm telling them is not far-fetched. I just want to make sure we don't see anything different. So we can go forth and do what we do. And Ankh, stay doing what you do because it's necessary. You understand? And Smash, stay doing what you do. It's necessary. But that's a critique. And that's how you have to have thick skin concerning. You understand? Let me stop sharing real quick. 2 hot seconds. Let me see what y'all talking about. Y'all good? Y'all all right? Good. Let me go here. Let's go YouTube. All right, we good. We straight. Now, when we finish that particular work, it's probably going to be groundbreaking. It's probably going to be groundbreaking. But let me do something else as well. The other reason why we came here. So you can look at another work that's in progress concerning writing. Because I want to show some of the cognates and how we come up to these cognates and what's important about the work when you do it, right? When you do works with languages, and you want to see if there's words that are borrowed or similar or the same or possibly a split because they're from the same culture, you got to do a little bit of work. You got to do a little bit of work, right? The work that needs to be done is the comparison of the words, comparison of the origin of the words, and a few other things. What I'm going to do right now is just invite you guys to a sneak peek. If you're on academia.edu, you've probably already seen this anyway. I just loaded it up, so you may not have, but it's newer. This is the type of work everybody says you got to do the work. You got to do the work. Let me break down what the work is. Because no one wants to talk about how you do the work and what needs to be done. And this is just an aspect of it. What you want to do is make a comparison and find similar words from two different languages in at least three different dictionaries. So this here, I'll just read it out. As I continue to do research with the Ma'a Medu Necha languages, I thought I would share some notes that I've currently made concerning the languages. The Maasai language in relationship to ancient Egyptian. These are just notes and they are in no order, right? I'm just writing this down, putting these down, because what I'll do is take all the information I've gathered and wrote down here and copied and pasted and brought over, compare them, and then I'll begin to write after I do so. So it says here, I'm also using a few more linguistic tools and dictionaries to qualify some of the information, but these are just sloppy notes. Enjoy. So I put this up like some days ago or whatever. So we start with a few of the words that, you want to kind of get involved with. Let's look at the tools that we're going to use first, right? One of the tools we would use is this. This is Paul Dixon's Dictionary of Middle Egyptian. Let me hide this. You can get it for free. Open archive, right? Let's just do one right in front of you, right? We can do one in front of you, really. Revered one. Imaku. Be honored. Imaki. Be honored. Imaki. You know this phrase because you always see it when you read a stela. It says Imaku or Imaki, which means true voice. Be honored. The blessed dead, right? Basically. So that's what you're seeing when you see that. These are the phrases in particular. You understand? Let me bring it back. Imaki, Imaku, revered one, right? It also goes with, well, some of its root words are iao. Let me bring this up bigger for you because these are probably small. Let me bring it over. Let's do a little work. Iao, old man. Iao, adoration. Adore. You about to go, honey? Hold up. You good? Iaku. Aku, sunlight, sunshine.
I stay a while.
I thought you might too. See how your women treat you. The vine, the grapes, which of course they used to say that the ancestors would drive you mad. The people that you slaughtered on the battlefield would drive you mad from drinking the wine. Very famous in olden times. Iyat, old woman. Imat, charms. Ima, all this stuff, right? But we saw, what else did we see? We saw Iyaku, the aged, old woman. It even comes up in the dictionary as ancestor. And so we're doing the work. Iyat, milk, goddess, divinity. Okay. So what you do You don't make a word up. As we seen a word made up, and I'm not going to clown them. I'm just going to throw this out. There was an attempt to make a word in one language of the ancient Egyptian for nose, another word in another language for until. That's not how you do this. How you do this is you look for the similar words and see if they have connecting themes and connections. And so we'll go down. Let me scroll down a little bit because we've got a lot of connecting themes and a lot of stuff of that nature, right? So let's go to the Maasai, the Ma'al language. Remember, we're making a comparison between the Ma'al language and the Medu Neter, the ancient Egyptian language. Al-Kui, El-Akui, right there, right? Ancestry. This man is from my ancestral line. Ancestors, Kepiapa. Our ancestors are brave. Il-Akui, right there. Right there, you see. Let me make that bigger. There we go. Ancestor, Kepi Apa Al Kui, Il Akui, right there. Our ancestors were brave. Il Akui, you see it again. Ancestors are not mentioned among the Maasai, blah, 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 blah. So you're seeing that same thing across the board. Inek Akui sounds like a Nejarak, doesn't it? Grandchild. El Akui. Inek Akui again. Grandparents. Grandmother, female, ancestor. Right? That's Inek Akui, like Enejarak when you go into the Egyptian language. And so you want to find that in a few different dictionaries. You want to make sure these words stay similar to each other. In some aku, in some suffix forms, to become, enter into, new status. Iaku, kitok, he shall be great. Same way with the other ones. I will become I this, that, the other, right? So the words have the same connotation, the same narration, becoming an imperishable star, becoming elderly, becoming an ancestor. It's all in there. Ancestry, El Akui, ancestor, Kepi Apa, Il Al Kui La'ar. Our ancestors are brave. Masai. So you understand. You understand. Inek Akui, right? Let's go here. Let's go to the Egyptian. Aketi, horizon dweller. Aketi, you, horizon dwellers. Aket is the horizon. More terms for horizon dwellers, which are your ancestors. Ak, be, become a spirit, beneficial, useful, profitable. Ak, spirit. Ak, spirit. Aketiyu, horizon dwellers, a remote people. Aku, power of God, mastery over work. Aku, Ak, the spirit state, being in the spirit state. Aku, power of God. Aket, horizon, tomb of king. Okay, sweetheart, I'll see you later. Ak, be a spirit, become a spirit, glorious, splendid, beneficial, useful, profitable, fame. This is a word that is synonymous. These are two words that are synonymous with each other.
No.
And because these two words are synonymous with each other, we can make a connection. If I find it in three more places, three more dictionaries, we can call it a cognate. This is how the work is done. And this is just part of the work. This is part of how it's done. Love you, honey. Wow. That's part of how it's done. Now, when you're doing this, you're gonna write. You see, I got other stuff in Kimata, all that dead old woman, all that stuff in here. I'm comparing the whole thing because it should sound similar. The word should sound similar. They should have similar and same sounding meanings, and they should have similar base words and a few other things that must be checked. But this is the first part you have to do. If I do it with the word black and charcoal and all that, in cuckoo, like Kemet, we've got similar sounding words. We've got pretty, yeah. Al Arek, Al Ruk, but we find that the besides Arak, to be black, we find the one with the K, Ka Rek. And so you see, you've got a lot of the K sound in there. Karek, although the shade is black. And you find similar wordplay. It starts with the adjective or it starts with the verb. Notice black, Karek, came before Oloip, the shade. Black is the shade, basically. It's how they would say that. You say the Medunecha the same way. You start with the verb or you start with the adjective and then you go into the rest of the sentence. Go to your pronoun or your noun, etc., etc. So it's even spoken similarly. Spoken similarly. So we know we just going through just going through some of the things to show you the work before I go to work, right? And so these are just some of the cognates I play around with. And there's a bunch of them on there. There's a bunch of stuff in there that matches up. But I have to go, remember, I have to get one of these right here because I'm doing it with Middle Egyptian as well as some of the old Egyptian. I got the old Egyptian dictionary too, and even some of the late forms. And I have to have my Maasai dictionary. Here's one. This one doesn't have a lot of Maasai words in it. So I use this one here because this has a lot of Maasai words in it, right? And we can already see in here El Akui, Maasai, either was ancestors. Our ancestors were brave. El Akui, Enek Akui, grandchild is addressed by grandparents. Enek Akui, grandchild, ancestor, second meaning, right here. Kakuya, right? These are the things you do. This is called the work. This is how it's done. This is how it should be done. This style is identical to none. You understand? So when we're working these and showing you what's going on, these are the things that we're talking about. This is what makes something what it should be. This is what it is. Just so you know. So now, stop sharing. So this is a small breakdown of how these things go, how they work, how the work becomes tedious, if you will. It gets tedious and it becomes difficult if you're not built for this. If you're not built to get in the sand and start to dig down in the dirt, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it doing the work, you know. And so now that you have that within your grasp, you can take it, you can understand, this will help you understand some of the argument and discussion that we're having amongst family. We're going over what's correct and what's not correct, how to do it, how not to do it. Is this right? Is this wrong? You understand? And so, with that being said, because I got to get to work and I just wanted to drop a few, just a couple gems on you. That's pretty much the gist of the show. I'm going to drop one more thing on you from our German brothers. Drop it from our, if I could find it. Let me make sure I could find it before I drop it, right? Before I say I'm going to drop it. I'll be having, if you like me, you got a million tabs. You always got a million tabs on your computer. You always got a million tabs. Right, before I go, let me do this, right? Let's go back to the Syria word, right? On the Marinette Patah Stella. Remember, we pulled this up. We believe this says Anui. We believe this says Yri Syria. And we believe this is the location that they come from, which makes more sense than these people not having a country, for those that say this is Israel, because everyone else on this stela has a country, just not these Syrians, right? So Koru is right there. There's their country. These are the people. This makes more sense. Feketu ben Toret, his. And there's his seed. And that means many. Just like this. His seed is done. His birth is done. Right? So when we do that, we also have this. We got to look at a couple things. The Greek origin of Assyria. And the term is first attested right here in the time of ancient Greek historian Herodotus, 5th century BC. The Greeks designated the Levant as Syria and Mesopotamia as Assyria. Huh? Way back when, because the term is so similar to Syria, the question of whether the two are connected has been examined by scholars since the 17th century, since the shortened form. Way back when. Syria is attested in sources predating the Greek ones as a synonym for Assyria, notably in Luwian and Aramaic texts from the line of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Modern scholars overwhelmingly support the name as being connected. Right? Here's the word in Greek. If you dig this up and you put it in here, it's going to come up with some stuff. We'll get to that. Here's Mitani. Here's the Kur Uru, which we were talking about. The Kur Uru, right? And you'll notice it mentions Egyptian official, astronomer, and clockmaster Amen Emet, apparently ordered to write on his tomb that he returned from the foreign country called Mitanni. Way back when. He is there at this moment. He has gathered to him the princes of every foreign country which have been loyal to Egypt, as well as those as far as Naharain, Mitanni, them of Huru, which we covered on the Stella. You need to go watch Smash's show. Them of Cody, their horses, their armies. So we already have confirmation Huru existed. All we got to do is come right over here, Whorian, which is a language and is also a religion. For those who don't know, I ain't even sent this over to my guy who does the Arcadian, right? And so we see the connection. And notice this is in 1479 to 1425 BC. The stela from Merneptah is in the 1200s. So we know we're good. We know date-wise we're good. And look, we didn't even have to go there. We can just go right up here, 1550 to 1260 BC. We're good. It's in the 1200s. It's in the 1200s. This is the work. This is the work. Let's go to the next one. The Whorian religion was the polytheistic religion of the Whorians, a Bronze Age people of the Near East. Whorian language, Whorian pantheon. So when it says Horur, and then we get core with it, we know exactly what we're talking about. We know exactly what we're talking about. Where's the line where it tells me Horur and core were together? It's over here somewhere. It might be on this one. It might be over. What's this? That's the stela. It might be over here. And so we've already connected. We've done a bunch of things. We've connected Horur and core together. We've shown the first spelling Assyria, I believe. We don't know yet. We got to give it to, we got to present it first. Got to present it. And then on one of these, it's probably this one. I'm just sleepy. It's in the morning time. It's in the morning time. It says Horur and core, and they connected to. And we already seen shades of that on this one, right? Assyrian. We got all of that. So it's all here. It's probably on this one here. Kassite, Babylonians, and all that. Yeah, it's. So this is the work. You understand? When you want to do work, you want to do work. And I've shown you work from two different topics. The work on the toponymic name of Kemet, the Black Land, which will be coming out in my book, Why We Call Kemet the Black Land. And I show you cognates from the Maasai, showing the same thing. We'll go into the Ilisar clan in the book, why all that's important and what have you. And then the new work we just did the other day, just the other day. And I know Smash is going to be writing his piece. I'm going to submit mine to his, so he has more to go with. And then we make a move. We make a move. And you see the work that needs to be done before we just hop up out, before you hop up off the porch with your claim, acting like you got a name. Go do the work. Go do the work. Because writing is what? Writing immortalizes you, doesn't it? When your Ka priest have gone and it's just you and your body's in the dirt, diminution is taking place and your energy has traveled to wherever it will travel again in the universe, because we know it's once it's created, it's not destroyed, it just transforms. If you would only accomplish this, becoming expert in writing, those writers of knowledge from the time of events after the Netcharu, those who foretold the future, their names have become fixed for eternity. Though they are gone, they have completed their lifespan and all their kin are forgotten, but you'll remember their name and you'll be the teacher of the new children. They'll be your children, because they'll comprehend, stay steadfast on, and understand what you wrote. My book is a ritual priest. My writing board is my son. My teachings are the chapels. The writing rush, my pen, is my child. And the block of stone on my typewriter, on my piece of paper, or in this case, my computer, is my wife. From great to small to all are given as my children because I am a writer. I am their leader. That's how important your writing is. So don't play games with what you do when you put pen to pad, because you're somebody's dad. And if you don't do it right, you make the community mad. So remember to have tough skin. Remember who you are. Being a star. Being a star. Ankwas the Jed, Anku Ja Seneb. Remember these tools. If you forget them, you can always come right back to this video and rewatch. Ankwas the Jed, Anku Ja Seneb.